Hello everybody, welcome back to the main event. My name is Toby and we are here to do some AEW predictions for 2024. You will have seen yesterday that I put on a WWE predictions video where I just took a couple of the ones that popped straight into my head while riffing away on this video. But we are today going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling, and after a really weird 2023 for them where there's been so many highs and so many lows, I'm here to talk about what I think should be happening, or what I want to happen, I guess, this coming year. But let's start with one that I really think is going to happen now. Mercedes Moné signs to AEW. Now, originally, this was actually going to be Sasha Banks signs to WWE in my previous video, but on this very day of recording, it has been announced that she has actually walked out of negotiations with WWE. However true that is, I'm not a journalist, so I don't know. I wasn't there in the room. I don't know what happened. But if this is true, I feel like it has been a complete play by her to see who's going to cash up the most Wonga, and she will go to the highest bidder. And I think this is going to be Tony Khan. She's obviously going to be a great asset. Hopefully it does a lot for the division. And she's just a star, isn't she? She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Plus, all the media attention she actually gets, especially when she's been in Star Wars and such. It's going to be a good pull if she does show up. And I think it's going to happen very, very soon as well. I believe she's cleared. This prediction kind of latches on to Mercedes Moné, and that is that women's wrestling will have more of a focus in the company. Now, I've said it on this channel before, many a time, plus it's been said across many channels over time, AEW, especially Tony Khan, does not give a toss about the women's division. It's blatantly obvious when we've seen it in press conferences, whenever he's actually been asked about it, he's always, oh, analytics, analytics, analytics. And I understand that WBD want viewers consistently. They want the start of the show to match up with the end of the show as realistic as it can be. And maybe the women don't pull as much, but they also don't pull as much because they're not shown on TV. We had one show in 2023 where there was 2 women's matches on it, and it was on an episode of Collision, and that came towards the end of the year. This shouldn't be happening. In 2024, I would love to see, and I think it's going to happen maybe down the line a bit, every other show there might be 2 women's matches, or there might be a long women's match. Usually they go on at 2:30 in the morning for me. I don't really know what that is in America, I'm sorry. And the matches only go for about 8.5 minutes plus like 30 seconds of promo afterwards. Signing a big star like Mercedes to the company, plus I know there's a fair few free agents about. There's also a Julia who hasn't been claimed by WWE yet. Bringing these stars in would instantly attract more eyes to your company. I mean, one of the predictions I was going to put in here, but I'm not fully sold on it, is that Becky and Seth would come over to AEW. Becky Lynch is another one. You would have all eyes on your women's division, then match her up with Mercedes, then But I do think 2024 is going to be a big year for the women. Hopefully Tony gets his priorities right now. Now we're going to be looking ahead to All In 2 in London, of which I will be going to, and yes, I will do another vlog for you because I know you like that first one. Bryan Danielson will be facing Nigel McGuinness at Wembley. Now, I firmly believe this match was actually going to be happening at All In this year until Bryan obviously got injured during his match with Okada. Oh, you Okada! Like, we all saw the shape that Nigel got into when he posted his picture on Instagram. Like, that man is built. And the story's already there. Obviously, we all know about their past in Ring of Honor and how they were really big rivals. Like, one of their matches together is legendary. And also with Nigel now on commentary, anytime he gets to talk smack about Bryan Danielson, oh, he's got to, doesn't he? Like, it's definitely been built for a match. Plus, with how everything goes now in wrestling medically, there is a lot of chance Nigel can just come back to the ring. I don't think he'll do it full time. I reckon it will just be for a one-on-one with Bryan. Now that Bryan apparently will be finishing up full time in 2024, why not give him one of his most legendary rivals in Nigel McGuinness for one match at the biggest show they can pull off, All In, which could potentially be Bryan's last match. Just let them go absolutely ham on each other for 20 minutes. Be great. My next prediction is about the future of AEW's TV rights. My prediction is they are not leaving WBD. I fully believe WBD know that AEW's numbers have gone down, and it's not a problem. They were never going to reach the heights and keep the heights that they had when they first started up. Like, it was a hot new company there, and lots of things have obviously gone wrong over time. And people drop off, and WWE improved because Triple H took over, and you know, there's so many things, and it's perfectly fine. We all know AEW is still number 2 in Western audiences, obviously, and it's not a problem that the numbers have gone down, because it's just how business works. Something else improves or something new comes along, you are going to go over to that. Now, I also said in my video yesterday, I don't think WWE are going to be signing with WBD. I reckon there's been talks for Raw, but if a streaming network comes across, that's going to make them far more money than WBD, unless they can get it on Max. Doesn't matter when it comes down to the UK or anything, does it? Because we don't get it unless we use NordVPN, which this video is not sponsored by. But I do think there is a good friendship between WBD and Tony Khan. I think they still like the product enough to actually, you know, keep it on TV. That's why it seems like there hasn't been any jumping around when Tony's been asked about TV deals, like he's running scared. Like, we all know how Tony acts when he gets asked a question that he wants to jump around. He will think of every other answer known to man and then promote all in. My next prediction is possibly a big one, and this is all down to your opinion on the company currently, if you agree or not, which I totally understand. But I think AEW is going to fix their identity crisis this year. Now, I love the product. It's been very clear for a long time that I love AEW, even though I can admit it's not been at its best recently. Apart from the Continental Classic, that thing was hot. But with the Continental Classic, there was something coming in line with what they actually wanted to be back when they started in 2019. We had always heard it's the alternative to WWE. It's going to be more sports focused. And to start, it was. There was more matches than there was segments, and it was just about fighting it out, really. There was no real sports entertainment, let's say. Then over the previous few years, we have seen it adopt more storylines and less match time for stories. Like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, if not this past week, we had a Dynamite where like a straight half an hour was just promos. That wouldn't have been AEW in the start. But along came the Continental Classic, which was just, it just felt right. It felt like the perfect tournament for that company. It felt sports-based. Even with the promos that were post-match, it felt like New Japan, and New Japan is very much sports-based over story. Now, we all know QT Marshall's gone. It looks like his problem might have been that, you know, AEW is leaning a lot more towards the New Japan format. Good, because we do want the alternative to WWE. If I want sports entertainment, I'll go and watch WWE. It's perfect for it. They nail it. AEW's not the best at it. And my prediction is that Tony knows that. And we are going to be talking about AEW at the end of 2024. Like, that is a sports-based promotion, and it just works. And my last and definitely not least prediction is that Swerve will be champion at the end of 2024. Do I need to say anything else about this? I mean, maybe a little. Swerve has been on fire. He has been probably one of the best heels in wrestling at the moment. He is convincing. His in-ring work is sublime. I don't need to mention the Texas Death Match. We've all seen it, and it's just brutality, and it just works. But as we look at someone like LA Knight in WWE about getting organically over, and he's just hot, that is Swerve in AEW, and they need to capitalize on it. They really do. They need to put the belt on Swerve and make him have a run. I don't want another year-long run. I want 6 months of just absolute bangers with fantastic wrestlers. But I do predict 2025 he will be going in as champion, and we'll be all happy. At least I might get one right here. And they were my predictions for AEW in 2024. What predictions do you have for AEW? Please leave them down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to help a boy out. I'm trying here, I really am. But thank you so much, and Happy New Year to you all, and I will see you again in the next video. So, bye.